kept telling her I loved her when they took her out of the house.
I have reached out to CenterPoint more times than I can really tell you.
I think they ought to cover some of the expense of their mistake. They're kind of too big and didn't handle the disaster properly.
We have a lot of people on oxygen. We have a lot of people on CPAP machines. I don't understand why there's no one here.
It's such a large city. Like, it's going to take a long time, a lot of investment to get ready for another storm. I don't see that happening. It's just a lot of talk.
Nobody could give me a response. Nobody could give me a time frame, nothing.
If you could speak with anyone at CenterPoint today, what would you say or ask them?
Why couldn't you have done better? Why did my sister have to die because of what happened?
For the storytellers at KPRC2, over 4.5 months of hearing the frustrations, confusion, and heartbreak suffered across the Houston area after power outages from the May derecho and Hurricane Beryl.
But tonight, an exclusive interview with CenterPoint CEO Jason P. Wells. Hurricane Beryl left more than 2 million CenterPoint Energy customers in the dark, many of whom were without power for over 10 days. The storm was blamed for at least 36 deaths, including people who died in their homes, left without air conditioning and facing Houston's brutal heat alone.
As we hear from CenterPoint CEO, we want to know what you think. We have gathered electric customers who shared their concerns to watch this exclusive interview live in Studio B. Investigative reporter Amy Davis is with them, as well as Texas Senator Carol Alvarado. We'll get their reaction on the backside of this interview.
In the meantime, we do want to hear from you as KPRC2's Gage Golding seeks answers from the head of CenterPoint Energy.
So let's start out with, I think, the biggest thing that we've heard from our viewers in the Houston community, these allegations from the city of Houston and 40 other communities that CenterPoint Energy has been overcharging customers to the tune of about $100 million a year. Is that happening? What's your response?
You know, we want to work with all of our stakeholders on what is a fair rate for our service. I don't think that we're overcharging our customers $100 million. I know there's been some frustration with our withdrawal of our rate case, and I think it's helpful to put a little context behind that. You know, our rates are set in a very public process with our regulator. We often seek recovery throughout the year for our capital investments. The rate case that we filed, we have to file once every 4 years, and that really sets the profit on those capital investments. During this process this past year, every single intervener that participated in that rate case actually supported a higher level of profit on the investments we're making in our system. And given the community's frustration around our response to Hurricane Beryl, now was not the time to talk about higher profits. So we withdrew the rate case so we could focus on making these critical investments to improve our service.
And this was something that I was even confused about, being on the inner workings of it. There was the rate hike and then the withdrawal, and then there was an increase in September. So can you help us understand what exactly that means? Why was that increase implemented in September?
Yeah, you know, there's a number of things that impact our rates. Some of those things are outside of our control. The way that the transmission lines, the large lines that move power across the state of Texas, those lines are often shared. It's a shared cost across Texas. And so as some of our peer utilities modify their rates, those impact our transmission charges. Other times of the year we put, as I said, our capital investment, the investments we make to improve our system, we put those into rates. You know, in the foreseeable future here, this year, we're going to see a rate reduction from some charges rolling off the bill. So there's a lot of rate activity that occurs, but all of that occurs with our regulator governing what we can charge our customers.
Hurricane Beryl and the May derecho are really a 1-2 sucker punch for the Houston metro area. Both of those power outages, those events led to power outages with more than 1 million people, not customers, but people, were without power, the Beryl obviously being a lot more. Do you feel that CenterPoint failed customers during that time?
Yeah. I know I personally let our customers down with both of those events, and for that I'm deeply apologetic. We will be better. I'm determined to be better, that we will be better. All of the team here at CenterPoint is determined to re-earn our customers' trust. You know, that really began with extensive listening sessions that we initiated right at the conclusion of our restoration activities with Hurricane Beryl, and have continued throughout this fall. Hearing directly from our customer the frustrations they have with our service, we're incorporating that feedback into the plans that we've rolled out to develop the most resilient coastal grid in the country. We are committed to re-earning our customers' trust.
I say be better. That's what a lot of people were asking for, and I hear that a lot from CenterPoint. And there's a lot of ways that have been outlined, and we're going to get to those in a little bit. But one of the ways is hearing what the customers have to say, and there's an opportunity for folks to talk to the PUC this Saturday. So I want to know, will CenterPoint reps be there to hear directly from customers this Saturday?
Yes, we will. I'll personally be there. Our team will be there. We look forward to every opportunity to gather feedback from our customers.
With any hurricane or any natural disaster, any loss is a tragic loss. From our research and data that we've been able to collect here at KPRC2, we know that at least 10 deaths were attributed to hyperthermia or dying of overheating. Do you think CenterPoint has to share the blame for that?
All loss of life is terribly tragic. My heart goes out to those families who have lost their loved ones. There's not a day that passes that we don't personally think about the loss our community experienced, and that is the drive behind our determination to create this most resilient coastal grid in the country.
And before we get to that, I want to show a quick clip. You brought it up. This is where I want to show it. This is an interview that my colleague Rilwan Balogan did with a woman who lost a loved one. And I want to show this to you and genuinely get your raw and honest thoughts.
The Public Utilities Commission, who oversees CenterPoint, is talking about Hurricane Beryl and what went wrong. What would you like that board to do?
They need to get to work. They need to examine the people at CenterPoint and what they're doing.
If you could speak with anyone at CenterPoint today, what would you say or ask them?
Why couldn't you have done better? Why did my sister have to die because of what happened?